Alrighty, hello everybody and welcome back to Sparxe's 2 key event presented by Joke. It is a wonderful Saturday as we are going to round out the finals bracket. We did have a match yesterday at 21 UTC on Friday, so we're going to be rounding out that losers bracket with this next match, KullaiPora versus Zoobin. And this is going to be a pretty close match. I mean, we have seen both of these players absolutely demolish their respective opponents. I believe KullaiPora did force a tiebreaker against mania, and actually, in a pretty big upset fashion, mania winning in a tiebreaker, while Zoobin also getting the upset, I believe, against Basil, as they lost as well to get their way down to the losers bracket. Of course, that is definitely frightening, seeing 2 single-digit seeds in the losers bracket, and these two are only 2 seeds apart and definitely the most physically capable as well. And we are going to get underway with the warm-ups, just waiting for them to ready up. But, I mean, what else is there really to say about both of these players? They have shown their dominance throughout the tournament. Zoobin, probably one of the best physically capable players, playing some of the maps on double time throughout this tournament. They definitely have a history of playing maps on double time when you're not supposed to. Just basically breaking the barriers of physicality. And KullaiPora is definitely not too far behind from Zoobin as well. These two can definitely perform when they need to, and they have definitely shown that in these past matches. And now it's pretty frightening to see that one of these players are going to be exiting the tournament. This is a losers bracket match, and one of these players are going to leave. Now getting underway with the warm-up. This is Zoobin's warm-up. KullaiPora did not opt for a warm-up this match. And it looks to be very technical based. 440 BPM. Normal. Yeah, you can definitely see Zoobin's technicality really shining. I mean, even though this is a warm-up, they have had a history, at least, for focusing on the more technical-based charts in this tournament. They definitely like to strive for that Rice 4 pick whenever they have the chance to, which is the more physically and tech-based, with all the very awkward snappings and very tricky, lots of flams and really awkwardly snapped jacks and trills and whatnot. And just overall, definitely their comfort zone. We are going to be heading into the rolls. It looks like KullaiPora rolling an 82, while Zoobin just going to be behind just a bit with a 67. KullaiPora will be winning the roll. Zoobin will be getting that first ban. And honestly, when you're this talented, like both these players, extremely talented, when you get so far into a pool where you basically can just play at everything, honestly, it's really hard to pick what you want to ban. You could just spin a wheel and Zoobin is gonna go for let you go. I don't think that's a map, unless, oh no, never mind, it's spelled really weird. Gotcha, okay, so knocking out LN1. Well, KullaiPora, I would not be surprised if they knock out a Rice pick. And ooh, I mean, that too, I guess. SV being the ban, that is definitely a player favorite to knock off of the ban list. As, I mean, if you're going in on a sight read, which I mean, hopefully these players aren't, or they just don't bother to touch the SV at all. They just completely ignore it and ban it. And KullaiPora gonna go for that first pick. KullaiPora gonna actually go for Rice too. I'm trying to recall from their match against Miniag on what they normally tried to go off on, because KullaiPora definitely had to fight for that match, and I'm pretty sure most of that match they were just avoiding the Rice picks. I believe both players banned the Rice, so I'm kind of surprised that KullaiPora is going into the Rice range early on in this match. I thought they would try to avoid the Rice, kind of like what they did last week against Miniag, but no, they are just immediately jumping in. Rice 2 gonna be the pick. Blower's Pizza, the Spark cut version. And this is mainly kind of like a Rice 1, but on steroids type pick. And, oh, is that an early slider break from KullaiPora? Yeah, that's an early slider break. Wow. Maybe just kind of got jump scared by that LN, but I mean, there is a lot of map to make up for that error. They are already climbing up that accuracy insanely well. And Zoobin pretty much taking this like a champ. But there's a break from KullaiPora. This is what I'm really concerned about, is that when it comes to physicality, KullaiPora they do show signs of a skill cap, especially when it's really fast. And I mean, seeing that there's 280 BPM Jack and some very fast trills in this chart, it's very physically demanding and fairly fast. We did see on Hall last week that KullaiPora was rushing that ending, dropping a lot of 200s. So, I mean, maybe this is a sign of the physicality just getting the best of KullaiPora, and they're just finding a lot of breaks on this chart. It's very awkward to transition between those jacks and those trills. And just to add on top of that, to coordinate is also a whole different factor as well. Zoobin finding a couple misses and some bad judgments, but it's not really going to matter as KullaiPora has basically been trading it back and forth, and we are already approaching the tail end of the map. Zoobin going to take an early first point and an early break point as well to start off this match. Yeah, this is starting to get I know we just started off the match, but this is getting a bit concerning on the side of KullaiPora. I think you might want to just try to avoid those Rice picks the best that you can. And what the hell? Can we relay this to the hosts? I mean, this isn't the first time we've done this, so I guess we're gonna have to allow it. And I mean, if they don't want to play, then I guess if they really want to go for it, then yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm beyond shocked, but I mean, it's very concerning when you have wrist injuries, and you shouldn't really, and it doesn't really help when you're playing, especially very, very physically demanding charts. Honestly, you can't really be mad because in the end, it's really your physical health that matters. But I mean, as it stands, they are pretty confident with that forfeit. So Zoobin gonna win this match on a forfeit by KullaiPora, which means they are going to punch their ticket into their conditional match, which will be a rematch against Basil. That is going to be a match and a half. That will be tomorrow at 20 UTC. But yeah, bit of a shocker. But I mean, then again, you can't really do much when your wrists are hurting, so it does happen, but like I said, in the end, you really need to take care of your physical health, and I hope things get better for KullaiPora. But that will conclude that match. We are going to take a little bit of a break, less than an hour, about 50 minutes or so, before we get into the next match of this losers final, or these finals matches, and it's going to be Nathaniel versus Minieg, a winner's bracket match, a match that will determine who will punch their ticket into the silver medal range and the winner's grand finals. One of these players will be guaranteeing themselves, at least at the bare minimum, a silver medal and a ticket to the grand finals, while a loser is going to have to drop down to that loser's grand finals and have to verse some of the most scariest players down there. But for now, I've been Air Sunny commentating this match. We'll be back in about less than 15 minutes from now. So take a break while you can. Maybe get a stretch, do some stretches. But for now, goodbye.